Hi, everyone, and welcome to this little informational talk that we're doing this evening, where we're going to be offering you a bit of an insight into the 2-day event that we're going to be running in Berlin called Sensual by Nature, which is happening on the 28th of February and the 1st of March, which is kind of soon, depending on when you're watching this. So we're going to be in this talk just exploring a bit about like who this is for, what we might be getting up to, and some common questions that we've received about sensual by nature. So my name is Ria Hope, and I'm a sexuality educator, energy worker, and activist. And I've been working in the field for 8 years. And this is Cleo.
Hello, everyone. I'm Cleo. I'm a pleasure and embodiment coach or practitioner, however you want to call it. And I've been working in this field for about a little more than 5 years now. And I'm really, really excited to, tell you a little bit more about the event that we're doing at the end of February and inviting you all, give you more clarity around it.
Woohoo! So we've been like so juiced up. We've been here in Morocco for a month together, like really creating so much juicy, like yumminess for you to step into, between Cleo and I, and what's so lovely about this collaboration is there's just so much care. There's so much care and so much love that's gone into creating a space for you where you can come to explore your desires and what makes you feel alive and how you like to be touched and how you feel in connection with yourself. Creating a space where you can explore that. With just a lot of care, So really, really inviting you into that space, even in this talk, to look after yourself and to hear how it is to think or feel into what it might be like to come to an event like this.
Mm,
So,
so beautifully said.
thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cleo, I'm curious, like when we've been dreaming into this, like who do you envision coming to this event? Like who have we created this for?
Hmm. Hmm. I mean, there's always a part of me that wants to say we've really created this for anyone who wants to connect deeper with their sensuality and connect deeper with themselves, their own body, and others. And that's still true. And at the same time, while we were creating the structure of the 2 days that we're inviting you to, I'm also noticing that this is really a beautiful space for anyone who is curious about this, but maybe a little hasn't been to spaces like this before. Maybe it has some, not anxiety, but is a little frightened maybe about
Mm.
this topic, doesn't really know what to expect either. This is why I'm excited that we're also doing this talk today to tell you a little bit more about it and what to expect. Um, but yeah, the questioning, the curious, the courageous, the sensual beings of this earth, which I
Mm.
think in the end we all are.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yummy. So yummy. And I think that really, I think what we've both learned through doing this work is there's a hunger in all of us to have deeper relationships, to understand what it means to be part of this world that we live in, to be able to touch and feel and connect in ways that feel true and authentic to us. And we're not really offered a framework in wider life. Definitely, it's very rare that any of us grew up in situations where we were taught how to value our bodies and the signals that they send us, especially when it comes to relationships. And that's really what we're offering here. It's like we're calling to the people who are longing for more depth in their
Mm.
lives and in their
Yeah.
relationships. And really what we're teaching you here is like very simple, very accessible tools that you can implement in your life and in your relationships to have more truth and to have more juice and to have more yumminess and to feel empowered to go and seek spaces and places and connections that really work for you.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
and also there's a calling, I think, and what we've spoken about a lot in why we want to create these sort of spaces is that so many sexuality spaces and sort of touch-based spaces can feel quite inaccessible to a lot of people, whether they're like hyper spiritualized or like so sexy that it's like, what the hell is going on there? And we wanted to create a space where it's like, this is just for humans with bodies who want more juice.
Yeah.
in their life, you
Yeah.
know. And by juice, it doesn't mean that we do the most intense things. It's like the juice is in the slowing down. The
Yeah.
juice is in the subtleties, I think.
Mm. You're saying this so beautifully. I really don't know. I'm just listening to you going like, oh, I want to join.
Well, good, good, good. Because, you know, I think a lot of people can feel intimidated,
Yeah,
right? It's
definitely.
like, what am I going to be doing there? Am I going to be forced to do anything? Am I going to be like in a really intense group dynamic where everybody's taking their clothes
Yeah.
off all the time? And it's like, that's not what we're offering. We're offering a slow space with lots of choice throughout. Like you can come and you can say no to every exercise. Like that would be so welcomed and
Yeah.
celebrated. We're not often given that space to say no in our lives. So this is a space where we're really practicing what it feels like to be in communication with ourselves as
Yeah,
well
and
as
we're inviting people to, I think, also allowing for the exploration to happen. And you can't get to that place. You can't, yeah, get to this place of exploration if you don't, if your body doesn't feel like it wants to go there, if your body isn't open, if you're not connected to your body and your body says, yes, I'm
mm,
open to exploring. And so what we're really inviting is to listen, the listening inwards, the listening to the body, to then make the decisions. What kind of exploration feels good? What kind of curiosity can I bring to this space, but also to my own practice, the relationship with myself? And so this can already be such a beautiful starting point for anyone who wants to go deeper on this journey.
So it makes me think, let's get really clear. Like,
Yes.
what are we doing at this event? You know, we're transmitting here some like yummy feels of like what why we did this, but there might be some of you who are like, but can you actually just tell me what we're doing? You know.
Yeah.
So we can definitely do that. So the workshop is over 2 days. So it's a full day on the Saturday and a full day on the Sunday, but the Sunday is slightly shorter. And really, the first day is going to be all about like you and your relationship with yourself, like how I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just gonna
Yeah. You're just
freewheel
gonna
it.
remember.
The first day is all about like your relationship with yourself. Like, what does it feel like to be you in the world? Like, what do you like? What does your body like? And really exploring the importance of desire when we really get
Mhm.
down to it, when we're not running away from things or trying to desperately cling to things. What does authentic desire look like in our bodies? So, we're going to be doing a self touch journey where we're invoking the elements and working with nature to think about what it looks like to explore the landscape that you are, as well as weaving in some really beautiful embodied consent and boundaries practices to give you an experience of what it feels like to feel yes and no in your body, which is probably one of the most important tools that we learn.
Yeah. Especially before starting anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Sorry,
no,
you're
no, go,
finishing.
go, because I.
We're also, if that first day is really like, yeah, a day where we're gonna start slowly and also connect with the group, really land and arrive because we're very aware of what it can do to you after living, especially in a city and being in a city and then coming to a place in the like the next day after you had a busy week, really taking the time to land before even going anywhere, basically. And then we have these beautiful practices that Ria just described to really connect with yourself first, with your body, with your own sensuality, with your own energy. Yeah.
Yum. Like what feels also like really important to say is like just to echo what Cleo says, like pacing is so important. Like we're really looking after you and your journey through this. We know that this topic can be sensitive and it can be edgy, right? Even if we're just going in at like slow sensuality, sometimes the slower stuff is even more like confronting. But we're weaving this in a way that feels like digestible and spacious enough for you to engage with it. Because that's where the juice really is.
And I think the beauty of it is as well is that knowing that now the slower or the more slowness you can invite into your practice, into your experience, the deeper you can go. So even if you've done this 1,000 times, when you do this again and you go again just a little bit slower and you're paying attention to what is happening, you can reach new depths, you can reach new levels. And yeah, that's really special, what I find really special about this work.
Yeah, I think that you would agree, Cleo, is like the deeper I get into this work with sensuality, with my senses, with my body, the simpler it
Mhm.
gets. The simpler my practices become, the slower I approach the things that I'm doing. It's not like some crazy, mad sex tips. People always think that it's that, but it's like actually it's just slowing down and really being intimate with my experience, and that's what we're offering you here as well. And then on the second day, we'll be moving into. I'm just so excited.
I know.
I know, I'm just so excited. We'll be moving into a breathwork, a sensual breathwork practice in the
Yeah.
morning, which I actually had the honor of doing this morning and being guided by Cleo, and it was very, very beautiful. And yeah, I'm really excited for you all to experience that. And then in the afternoon, moving into a group ritual. Potentially the word ritual is like, what's that? It's just a group exercise, really, that has
Like a ceremonial character.
ceremonial, thank
Yeah.
you, ceremonial element to it, which is a practice called Servants of Aliveness, which is
Mhm.
a practice that I made up. Whoa, I'm always so amazed. I made it up. It's crazy. And it's a really beautiful group process for us to support each other, to feel into what makes us feel alive.
Yeah.
Ah,
And also maybe speaking into that for a moment, because I mean, to be fair, I haven't experienced it yet, but I've experienced like parts of it, the whole practice that Ria was just talking about that she created. And oh my God, I'm also so excited for people to experience that. It's really powerful, especially when you get to have people as witnesses, as mirrors of your experience, of your emotions, of your just expression. That can be such a powerful thing because a lot of the times, especially things that have to do with relating to others and relationships in general, we can only really work on them when we are relating. We can't all do it by ourselves. And while it's important to make this connection first and really feel a sense of security in your own body and in being able to trust yourself to a certain degree, or just knowing how much you can trust yourself, even, then going into practices that you can practice relating almost. You can, yeah, you can practice while relating and in relating, and it will prepare you for all of the relationships that you have in your life, basically. And when you were talking just now, also in terms of group ceremonial character.
thought I was gonna sneeze.
um,
Sorry.
a ceremonial group activity regarding sensuality. It also sounds like, what?
Hmm.
Um, so maybe speaking to something that we have been asked quite a lot, which is how nude are people gonna
Yeah.
be and how much nudity is either necessary or invited. And yeah, just to speak to that shortly. So this is a pants-on event. We will all have our underwear on at all times. And at the same time, other levels of nudity are invited. They're welcome. Um, but also, if you want to be fully clothed the entire time, you can do that.
Yeah. Yes, like really just to again stress like you can come and be in a way that feels comfortable for you. Like you don't have to take your clothes off at all. Like that's equally as welcome as it is to be just in your pants. Um and sometimes this can be like, oh, well, what if everybody's naked and I don't want to be? What I found with these events is there's usually a mix. And it's very rare that people just come in and they wouldn't just take all their clothes off. There would be a build up into this process of, okay, when does it feel safe to? When does it feel comfortable for me to take off more clothing if I want to? right? And it's just nice sometimes to be nude. And it's also nice sometimes to say, actually, I don't want to be. And both of them have a lot of power in. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
after the ritual, each day will end with integration. We'll end with integration, we'll end with group togetherness, we'll end with some reflection so that we send you out into the world feeling like landed and grounded in what we've been doing and ready to step into the next bit of your life as well.
Yeah, and I think this is also a part that I think for you also very important, but especially I have been learning this like by participating in these kind of events and workshops and retreats, as well as in my own practice holding spaces, that the integration part is one of the most important parts of this because when you awaken a lot within yourself and then you go out and you have no time to integrate, you have no place to co-regulate or regulate yourself, then or ground yourself. It's just going to be, it can be quite jarring. And so again, we know this is happening with in a city. So we will make sure that every day in the evening there's enough time for also giving you tools to learn how to regulate and co-regulate and ground yourselves and to also have enough time, especially on the Sunday, for you to have integration at home before you might continue with a work week on Monday.
Because we really care about you. And that is true. It's such an important piece. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we feel?
I mean, I think we've spoken to
Yeah,
most of the questions
I
that have been
suppose
asked.
so.
We could go a little bit more also just to round things up into why, like the second one.
Hmm.
Or you feel like we've said that?
I think that maybe something important to speak to is just about why we've chosen to do this event on sensuality. As
Yeah.
two sexuality practitioners, why we've chosen sensuality as the focus rather
Mm,
than sexuality.
mm. Yeah, I wanted to speak on that to
Yeah,
that
please,
understanding.
please. You want to go?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go.
So I think I have been working most of my life with the term sensuality because I think for me at least sensuality really encompasses this energy, the aliveness within you. It has to do with your connection to your emotions. It has to do with your connection to your body, to your senses, to the way you move through life, basically. And then sexuality is a part of that, obviously. But it's not only sexuality. And I do think that in the end, ideally, if we would live in an ideal world, the sexual part of ourselves and sexuality in our human experience, which everyone has, would be way more integrated into every aspect of our lives, and it wouldn't necessarily always have to be sexual, if that makes sense. So I'm talking more about an energy and an experience of life and the way that you approach certain things, the pleasure that you allow yourself to feel in your day-to-day life without making it about sexuality. Like you can be almost turned on by your own experience of life, basically. And then you can bring that into interaction with others, but you can also experience it for yourself. And there's such a richness and a power in experiencing that within your body and within yourself. And being connected to that, you can feel so much more in charge of your own life and how you want to shape it. And having also the words, being able to say what you desire, what you don't want, speaking your no's, keeping your boundaries, like all of these are practices or abilities, I would say, that you can practice and learn, especially through connecting with your own sensuality, with that energy within yourself. And it is important to, yeah, really feel this rootedness in your own body to then feel like, yes, I am here and I can speak my yeses, I can speak my nos, I can speak my desires. And yes, there might still be, shame somewhere in there, and I'm not saying that, we I am fully shame-free, elevated in my sensuality. Um, but it does make such a big difference since I've been doing this work for a long time now and really connecting with this as a regular practice. And this is why at least I'm so excited to bring this to others and really make it clear that this is a bigger piece,
Mm.
like not just focused on sex or sexuality, but a bigger piece that really makes us whole.
Whew. Gorgeous. Amazing. And yeah, I think it's so true. Just a little add on. It's like we really have such heavy conditioning around sexuality. So when we hear the word sexuality or we think about a sexuality event, there's so many things that can come into our mind about what is going to happen there and what we have to do there and what other people are going to be doing there. And I think in this way, and what Cleo's just said, it's like we're taking it out of the box. We're stripping it back down to who am I as a human being that's alive and feeling here, and how can I use that to have a more connected life? So,
That makes me think of one more thing, which is sensuality. The word, I think, is also quite, just like sexuality makes you think of a certain thing, sensuality is also it's, for example, very feminine coded,
mm,
and a lot of people associate certain like aesthetics with it, especially. And to at least for me, this is completely independent of gender. It's completely independent of appearance. It is really the connection that you have to yourself and your own aliveness. So this is also a space where we really want to invite this exploration of what does it look like or feel like to you? How does your connection express itself authentically, without trying to, yeah, use the box
yeah.
to put ourselves in.
Amazing.
Hmm.
Well, I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I think that's enough. What we will say is that if there's any questions, like if I feel that you're all there
Yeah.
in the ether, I feel that there's so many of you who have been curious about this event, and sometimes it just takes the right opportunity and the right information and a yes in your body to feel ready to jump in. So, with that being said, like if you have any questions or you even want to have a little call and talk some things through about what we might be doing, even if this isn't enough for you and you want some more, like please don't hesitate to reach out because it's important to us that you feel comfortable to jump in. So
Yes. And we will put this on YouTube. On your
yes.
YouTube, we will also link things on there so that you have all the info if you wanted to reach out. Um, we, we also have um, we also have an early bird happening until the 1st of February. So now is a beautiful time to book.
And if you miss it and you watch this later, too late.
Yeah, paying the full price.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Um, and I'm just so excited to be working with you. I've said this today has been a day where I've been praising Ria a lot. And I really feel like this work is so important for the both of us, and we have a very similar view on how we want to teach these things and how we want to guide people through those experiences. And I'm really grateful for having a collaborator that I feel so aligned with.
Mm.
And that's also one of the reasons why I'm just extremely excited to be facilitating this space
Yeah.
with you
Yeah.
and for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's really revolutionary stuff doing this work, guys.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling the little tingles, the little tongles, the little sprongles, then please join us. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.